Hey everyone and welcome! Today we're going to go on this super exciting adventure all across India just to check out its incredible, amazing world of plants and trees.
Okay, so let me ask you something to get us started. Have you ever wondered why you just don't see coconut trees growing on snowy mountains? Or like a cactus in the middle of a swamp? It seems weird, right? Well, it all comes down to where plants naturally decide to set up shop, all by themselves.
And the answer to that mystery is something called natural vegetation. Now, that sounds fancy, but really it's just a cool way of saying all the plants and trees that grow in a place totally on their own, with zero help from us. It's just nature doing its thing.
All right, you ready? Let's dive right in. Our journey today is going to take us through 5 totally amazing and super different types of forests that you can find all over India.
So here's a quick peek at our travel plan. We're going to be hitting the rainy rainforests, then the leaf-shedding woodlands, the dry scrublands, the super cool water-loving mangroves, and we'll finish up in the mighty mountain forests. Come on, let's get going.
Okay, first stop on our tour, the tropical evergreen forests. And yeah, the name kind of gives it away. It's green in these places all year round.
So, you might be wondering, how in the world do they stay evergreen? Well, first off, you only find them in places that get a ton of rain, and they're packed so tight with trees, shrubs, and all sorts of crawly creepers that sunlight has a really tough time even reaching the ground. But here's the real secret sauce. The trees don't all shed their leaves at once. They take turns, so the forest never ever looks empty or bare. Pretty clever, right? And get this, the trees here are absolute giants. I'm talking seriously tall, super valuable hardwoods like ebony, mahogany, and rosewood. You can think of these forests as nature's own treasure chests, just filled with amazing wood.
All right, time to move on to our next destination. We are now heading into the tropical deciduous forests. And these guys, they have a really special trick up their sleeves for surviving the seasons. So, that big word, deciduous? All it means is that these trees drop all their leaves at the same time. They usually do it during the dry season, and it's a super smart way to save water. You'll find these forests where there's a medium amount of rain, and they're not quite as jam-packed as the evergreen ones we just saw. Now, these forests are also incredibly important, especially for us humans. They're where we get super valuable wood from famous trees like teak, the stuff used to make really strong, beautiful furniture, and sandalwood for its incredible smell. And of course, let's not forget about really useful stuff like bamboo. Okay, let's do a quick face-off. Evergreen versus deciduous. So, on one side, you've got the evergreen forests. They need tons of rain, they're super dense, and they're green 24/7. Then on the other side, you have the deciduous forests. They get by with medium rainfall, they're a bit more spacious, and they do that whole leaf shedding thing every year. See, it really is all about the rain and how they've learned to deal with it. All right, brace yourselves for a major change of scenery. We're about to visit 2 forests that are total opposites. They've learned to survive in really extreme conditions. We're talking one that's super dry and another that's super wet.
Okay, first up, the thorn forests. You find these in really dry places, like Rajasthan, where it barely rains. To survive out here, the plants have become absolute experts at saving water. You'll see lots of thorny bushes and kind of short, tough trees, like acacia and date palms. And they have these crazy long roots that go way, way down underground, searching for every last drop of water. And now for the total opposite. Let's jump over to the coast and check out the amazing tidal forests, which you might know as mangroves. These trees are incredible. They actually grow in the salty water near river deltas. And their roots are so cool. They grow above the ground almost like stilts to keep the tree steady in all that mud. The famous Sundari tree lives here, and these forests are like a natural shield, protecting the coast from huge waves and storms.
Okay, for our last stop, we're going up, way up. We're climbing high into the mountains to explore the montane forests of the incredible Himalayas.
So I want you to imagine we're actually trekking up a mountain, okay? At the bottom, down in the foothills, we see familiar deciduous trees like sal. But as we start climbing higher, it gets colder, right? And the trees totally change. Now we're seeing tall coniferous trees. That just means they have cones, like pine and deodar. And their pointy branches and needle-like leaves, that's a perfect design to let all the heavy snow just slide right off. And if we keep going, right to the very top, the trees just can't grow anymore, and all you see are tough little shrubs and grasslands.
And just like that, our tour is done. We've seen 5 completely different, totally incredible forests. But that brings us to the most important question of all. Why should we care? Why do these forests matter so much?
Well, To put it simply, forests are basically superheroes for our planet. I mean, think about it. They produce the oxygen that we literally need to breathe. They give us wood for our homes, plants that can be used as medicine, and so much more. Their roots act like a giant net, holding the soil in place so it doesn't wash away in floods. And of course, they're a home for millions and millions of wild animals. Bottom line, we absolutely need them to survive.
But like all good superheroes, our forests have a villain. These amazing green treasures are facing a really, really serious danger. So what is this threat?
That threat has a name: deforestation. It's just a word for cutting down huge numbers of trees. People do it to clear land for things like farms or to build new cities and roads. And every time we lose a forest, we lose all those amazing gifts they give us, and all the animals who live there lose their homes.
But it's not all bad news. There's hope. And guess what? We can be the superheroes that the forests need. The solution is called afforestation, and that's the simple act of planting new trees. By planting trees, we can literally help our forests grow back and make our whole planet healthier.
Okay, so after that whirlwind tour, let's do a super quick recap with a handy little cheat sheet. Ready? Evergreen, always green. Deciduous, drops its leaves. Thorn, dry and spiky. Tidal, loves salty water. And montane changes as you go up a mountain. Simple as that. You got it? Awesome.
And that's a wrap on our explainer. But I want to leave you with one final thought to take with you. My question for you is, what's one small, green thing that you can do this week to help our forests? Thanks so much for coming along on this expedition with me.